hope. That's all we have, right? You, me, the rest of us that are watching the world burn right now. Well, not firsthand, but so. Let me just get it out of the way that this video is not supposed to be a political or socio-economic statement. And this is not planned or called for. I'm shooting this and changing the schedule at the very last minute. Much like the rest of the shit show that's been going on out there. I'm just pushing, struggling as days go by. For sanity, for just calm, peace, some sort of stability, some sort of normal to come back again. A lot of us have stopped watching the news because right now there is no end in sight. There is no light at this end of this really long, narrow tunnel that we seem to be going through. A lot of us have just turned a blind eye and a deaf ear to what's going on outside the four confines of our world. And that's not wrong. It's not entirely wrong. Because a lot of us need our sanity to be intact right now. And this is not a call-out message for those who are not working, those who are not activists at this point. Those who are activists, thank you, kudos to you. You are part of the reason why there is some sort of management and administration during a time where every single piece of administration seems to have failed. And if you are one of those influencers, if you are one of those people who, even with little reach, even with little people, even with little audience to look at you, if you're trying your best to give out resources, to give out contact numbers, to give out helplines, to actually make arrangements for even one person's requirements, you're making it easier for all of us in this battle for survival. And thank you to you. But if you're not, if you've chosen to go off of social media, it's because every single time you turn on social media, there is some or the other requirement that you can't fulfill because of the distance or your reach or your contacts or any other reason for that matter. You're not wrong. You shouldn't feel guilty or ashamed of not being able to take part in this huge activist movement that is so necessary to the world right now. We're all struggling. We're all pushing. We're trying to live one day at a time. And there is no one right way to live at this point in time. And if you're one of the people who has been unfortunate enough to actually be caught in the eye of the storm, if you're one of those people who are actually facing the pandemic headfirst, your relatives, yourself, all your family members, your next of kin, any one of them, if they're infected, I'm truly and deeply sorry. If you've lost people, if you're grieving, if this brings out the worst of your anxieties, if this brings out the worst of your memories, if this takes you down to wrong memory lanes, I'm sorry for you. And this is not meant to belittle or demean your grievances or your struggles that are going on right now, but I'm just here because I'm privileged and because I'm still not caught, or rather, I won't be caught by the end of the shitstorm, in the eye of the storm. I'm here to remind you that no matter how dark the night gets, there will be daybreak. There is hope. There is actually something that's coming ahead. I don't know if it's good, I don't know if it's bad, but it is something different. And that different is enough to stick around for. So if the world has let you down right now, let me remind you that even though the forces of bad overwhelm the forces of good right now, and the bad that's going on in life has completely made you feel like you lost right now, there are good things going on in the world. Good things that we just don't have the energy or the resources or the time or the right means to amplify to a certain great degree right now, because the other side is just so overwhelming. The development in vaccines has almost gotten us close to a malaria vaccine. Israel has almost gotten rid of all of its mask restrictions due to mass vaccination. Speaking of which, from the 1st of May, we begin vaccinations for every single one. There is something coming. I don't know when it will be. I don't know if it will be better than the conditions that we're in right now. But I know that it will be different than what it is today. To anyone watching, if it matters to you, if you can do it, please, by all means, lend a hand, lend a shoulder. To anyone that's grieving, anyone that's sad, anyone that's struggling to wake up every single day right now. Be there. to listen, to support, to cheer on in silence and loudly if they needed to. Pass on the message of hope, because we all need a sense of direction, sense of stability to actually turn our heads and look at the horizon and know that the horizon exists at this point. So please pass on the message of hope. Be aware of your surroundings, be aware of yourself and your family. Look out for yourself, your family first, but also everyone else that is vulnerable, everyone else that can be easily fooled or that can be easily taken advantage of. You literally cannot help enough people right now. So help as much as you can. Help yourself before you help others, especially right now, because your stability is very vital to a collective effort. So if you've watched till here, this is my note. Hope yourself that there is something different, if not better, coming ahead. Instill that sense of hope. Try to instill that sense of hope into someone you know who needs it right now. The description of this video will be full of numbers and contact numbers and helplines and resources that I've accumulated and tried to get verified to the best of my extent till now, so that it might help someone. So try to help and hope, because you, me, the ones that aren't watching the world burn right now, I mean, not first hand at least. That's all we have.